nearly everyone shops at Amazon, and me included. But what is it actually like working for Amazon? And as a Amazon employee, I can definitely tell you that it actually sucks. And I've been debating if I actually want to go back there. And with COVID going around, I was in desperate need of a job, and the Amazon facility at my current location, which I'm going to leave that anonymous, wasn't doing interviews. You pretty much applied, picked your shift, and you were hired pending background and drug test. And that's pretty much the only reason why I took the job, to tell you the truth. And because I've been dealing with health issues for close to a year, have heart disease and stuff like that, and I couldn't continue the job I was currently doing at that point, which I was a delivery driver for FedEx, and it wasn't safe for me to be driving those large trucks, as I would have random fainting spells and stuff. And that is definitely pretty much the only reason why I took the job at Amazon. And with someone with the health issues I do have random appointments where I'll randomly be hospitalized and have random testing appointments to figure out how to help me, which no doctor has figured out the correct path to actually help me yet, which is really frustrating within its right. And I just need something to help me pay the bills and stuff. Well, with Amazon, they have a point-based attendance system, which I don't really miss much work unless I have my doctor's appointment. I'm not one to really call in sick or things like that. I go to work and I work, and sometimes I've had to leave due to my doctor's appointments. It would be at 3, and I would work 4 10-hour shifts, and my normal shift would be done at 4:15, and I do drive about an hour to work, 35 to 45 minutes, give or take, about traffic. And I would just go to work, and sometimes I'd have to leave early for it, and I would always get doctor's notes and stuff like that. Well, Amazon has a 4-day medical waiver, so you won't be pointed for it. And it's been kind of frustrating, because and then at 6 points you could get terminated. I'm currently at 7, which I could walk in tomorrow and get fired. But pretty much every day I have missed has been medical related, except for the one time when I actually had a fire in my apartment a little over a month ago. Lost everything. My dog died. I went through some really rough times there. They're contemplating suicide and stuff, which I've never been a depressed person my entire life. I've always thought suicide was selfish, and I would never really contemplated it. But at that moment in my life, I was losing my dog in the fire, losing everything that I have ever had, things that meant a lot to me, my grandparents' stuff, and that had a lot of not monetary value, but value in the sense that it was some of the only things I still had from my grandparents. And it has absolutely sucked. And I'm still dealing with that now, and I'm currently seeing a therapist to get by that. And I actually ended up in the mental hospital for that, and I got pointed for that as well, because I went and got help that I needed. Granted, the mental hospital was freaking sucked. I was pretty much in solitary confinement due to without my phone or anything due to COVID and stuff, because they took all my belongings away from me. And it has really sucked. And I brought in all my documentation, saying I was in my doctor's appointment, saying I was in the mental hospital and stuff like that. Brought it to my local HR team, and they told me there's nothing they could do. Because I used up all my medical waivers, because there's actually one time at the end of October going to November, I was at the Mayo Clinic all week in Rochester, Minnesota, having them help me, and I had no control over my appointments for that. They pretty much mailed me an itinerary of where I'm supposed to be at what time and these days. So I had no control over that. And Amazon supposedly cares about employee safety. That's their number one thing. Well, let me tell you, my heart problems could mean life or death for me. And that is definitely not caring about employee safety, not excusing my absences due to my medical appointments. And that is something I can't control, and that's something that I need fixed, because that could be life or death for me. I could essentially pass out right now while I'm driving. Chances are I'm not going to. A lot of times when I collapse over and go unconscious, I'm standing up, and it's after heavy amounts of exertion, such as heavy workouts and stuff like that. And sorry, truck passing me. And I just can't deal with this. I still am going to be going to work, and it's because I need the money. I need to be able to pay my bills. Granted, I do have enough money where I probably could go close to a month without working, but I am decided to be moving out of state, so I need to be as a chance to get a new fresh start at life, and I just need the money, because moving out of state ain't cheap. Gotta pay to get a new driver's license, which won't cost much. Gotta pay to get my car registered with that state and get new license plates. Gotta pay for a deposit for an apartment and pay first month's and last month's rent. Gotta pay to have my moving expenses, which I don't have much due to the fire, which is why I'm deciding to move now. Always wanted to move out of state. I've always wanted to move out east to that. I currently live in this frozen tundra of Minnesota, and it's just sucks. And I was recently, about 2 weeks ago, pretty much exactly 2 weeks ago, I came in contact with someone with COVID, and I did get sick there. It only lasts about 2 days. 2 days. I had a slight fever, had a sore throat, had a slight cough. Nothing really big. My fever wasn't too high. My cough wasn't that bad. My sore throat was kind of the thing that bugged me the most. Just thought it was strep. That came back negative. My COVID test came back negative. But my doctor said because I came in contact with someone, they wanted me to quarantine for 2 weeks. Well, part of it's my fault. I'm a dumbass and forgot to ask for a doctor's note about that. But, and then I did call and let my work know. They put me on two weeks leave for it. And Amazon is currently paying their employees for up to 2 weeks. 2 weeks if you have to take 2 weeks off because of COVID. And I forgot the note, and I called my doctor's office back to see if I could get a note for that. Well, the nurse of the doctor I saw told me that employers were not allowed to require notes for that currently due to CDC regulations. I haven't looked this up or not yet, but I figured that the medical professionals that deal with all these regulations on a daily basis know what they're talking about. So I pretty much said, okay, whatever. And now Amazon's telling me, because I don't have a note, they're refusing to pay me for these 2 weeks off because my test was negative. Okay, what the hell? Sorry about that. My pod that was holding my phone flew back when I was coming to a stop. Apparently I didn't have it tight enough in there. But as I was saying, due to what my doctor's office said, CDC regulations, that my employer was not allowed to require that. Well, they're telling me I need that in order to get paid, which I told them that, and they told me that's not true. Okay, what the hell? Am I supposed to trust my doctor's office who deals with these regulations on a daily basis, or some random HR employee who tell me that I'm essentially calling me an idiot and told me that my doctor's office lied to me? Okay. His exact words to me: that is simply not true. Your doctor's office is wrong. Okay. I'm tired of COVID. I'm tired of having to deal with these on a regular basis, and I just don't know what to do anymore. I'm tired of this, and I just want life to go back to normal. Amazon, I give -5 or -10 out of 5 stars. Terrible company to work for. Their HR department's completely rude, and they don't care about employee safety whatsoever. They may act like it on the front, and inside the building act like they care. But that's just not true. And also another story. There was actually one time where I actually did collapse over at work, and they do have a nursing staff on site, and the nursing staff had me go to the hospital, and they pointed me for that too. When I was at work, they sent me to the hospital. By the time I was done at the hospital, there was only like 30 minutes left of my shift, and the doctor at the hospital told me to go home and rest. Which was not caused by my heart. I had an ulcer, and I was actually in extreme pain all day. I went to work in extreme pain, and that reminds me, actually, before I had to take my ulcer medication this morning. Oops. Yeah, you don't care. But it's just so frustrating. And I know this video may be jumping around a bit, but I just needed to rant and let us steam and let people know the type of company Amazon is. I will probably continue to shop from them because they have actually good deals and things that I can't find anywhere else. But beyond that, I would not recommend working for them unless their CEO, Jeff Bezos, and corporate can actually figure out a way to actually care about their employees. There's no wonder why Amazon has such a big turnout rate, because they don't treat their employees well whatsoever. And I've heard of companies such as Walmart and such not being good employers and not caring about their employees. Well, I always thought that was much of an exaggeration until now, when I actually had to deal with that myself with Amazon. They fired me over this video, so be it. I'm had enough of their shit. They can start caring about their employees more, and maybe they'll actually be able to retain employees. Actually keep the damn good employees that they have. I'm not saying I'm a damn good employee, but I am saying that I do work my ass off, and I do put in 101% effort, because I want that to be a reflection of me, not because of the employer I work for. So I will continue going to work when I go back tomorrow, actually, and work my ass off and have that as a reflection of me and not as the employer that I work for, because that's the type of person I am. So Amazon, if you're watching this, which doubt you probably are, start learning how to treat your employees better, and maybe we'll actually stay around. That's all I gotta say. Just now getting to my location. So peace out. And just remember, don't be afraid to call out your employers. Maybe it's just the type of thing they need to start treating you better. So, backing up. So, have a good day, guys, and stuck. And yeah, all I have. See ya.